And then came George Nagel from Barrie, Ontario, who gave his pitch a lyrical launch.
And I'll give you 51% if you give me 50 grand for you, mytwitface.com.
YMTF.com is a hub for all your social network accounts.
You can join, you can input, you can share.
But the Dragons quickly highlighted an obvious hurdle: copyright.
So, do you think there's any chance that you'll be sued in the Stone Age by at least 4 companies? Can you try and pull that off?
We'll deal with that.
That's just little things.
That's where you guys come in.
Little trademark things.
So that was enough to crash the website deal.
I don't Twitter, I don't Facebook. I'm out.
He doesn't sing either.
Oh.
Hello to Mark Arneson's entrepreneurship class. I'm George Nagel. Sorry I couldn't be joining you live. Right about now I'm at Riverdance with my mother-in-law at that. So having nothing but good times here, as you are there, I'm sure. Kyle asked me to give you some sort of a background on our project that we did, and you just saw a little bit of it on Dragon's Den, all of but 60 seconds. The exchange actually was about 20 minutes, and it was nothing but a great experience to go through. So I encourage anyone in your class, if you have a great idea and you want to put yourself out there, then do something like Dragon's Den. You get nowhere without trying. And my whole motto since I've started my young career at about 20 years ago, I suppose, was to you never get anything unless you ask for it. And this is just another project that is geared that way. So anyhow, YouMyTwitFace.com. It's an idea that I came up with thinking that social networking was very fragmented. It continues to be that way today. But if you think of the landscape, even about a year ago when we came up with the idea, we had statistics like 233 social networks worldwide and 645 million members, total value of YouTube, MySpace, Twitter, and Facebook of over $20 billion. And yet, nothing but big opportunities, but still lots of miscommunications between one system talking to the other, or not at all. A lot of people looking on one site, not being on the other. Obviously, Facebook having the lion's share, it will be a guiding factor moving forward in social networking. But I learned not too long ago, there's over 26 social networks that have over 1 million people sign into it every day. So if you think of Facebook with over 300 million people signing in, LinkedIn with over 8 million people signing in, MySpace with over 4 million signing in, there's lots of opportunity out there where social networking has become obviously bigger. It's part of our culture. It's part of our fabric of technology, but it's also fragmented still. So the idea behind this one, whether it's YouMyTwitFace.com or whether it be any other name that it could be, is the idea of bringing social networking into one central hub. How would we do that? Well, if I had a buddy named Joe Smith, and Joe Smith, who might be in your class right now, if I Google Joe Smith, I'm going to find out hundreds and hundreds of pages on Joe Smith on Google. I'm going to find out about Joe Smith, who was a carpenter in the 1700s. I'm going to find Joe Smith, who did a real good picture in grade 8, and Joe Smith on LinkedIn and Twitter. But I'm not going to be able to narrow it down fast enough. So when I think of people finding each other on social networking, there are sites out there that do it, but there's not one that's geared strictly to social networking. So our idea was to have something that would be a central hub for people to input information, share information through joining YouMyTwitFace.com, and also scraping the internet for information that would be directly related to just social networking. The big benefits behind all this are obvious. If you could have a lot of people going to one site, you'd be able to drive revenues that would be significant through ad sharing and through just general awareness. Maybe one day we'd get big enough that we'll be purchased, and then if that's our goal, that's good enough for me. The idea behind creating something like this is strong because people still have an appetite for taking on things that are new, but things that are logical. And I still find it not logical that if you're a member of LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Flickr, whatever it might be, that you have to sign into each website separately. So the idea behind YouMyTwitFace.com is have a central portal that you can be going into in order to launch you to all the social networks that you belong in, and then for people to give you information from other social networks that exist, so it's filtered all down into one simple computer application. There's certainly other challenges with this because I'm not the only one that would have this great idea, but it's how do you implement something that's great and get attention for it. I'm not a computer geek, but I am a marketing guy. And at the end of the day, if I can get more people coming to our site because it's fun, interactive, and taking the top 4 social networks out there and putting them into one name that makes sense, a domain we own, YouMyTwitFace.com, I think we're going to be further ahead than just creating a name all on its own. But then, just like anything, we'll evolve. We'll evolve into something that would be probably a little different from where it is today, but certainly the idea of making social networking fun and simple and easy and interactive for more to enjoy with less of a hassle. So if there's anyone actually in your class that you think would be interested in investing time in this project, I'm more than happy to talk to you. My email is george@bygeorgeithinkhe'sgotit.com, and we can talk. In the meantime, hopefully this is helpful to Kyle and the project and gives you a bit of an insight as to why this idea came about. Thanks a lot, and have a lot of fun.